What is going on, guys? My name is Rashomonk and this is my first video about Diablo Immortal. In this video, we're going to talk about the comparison between Alpha 1 and Alpha 2. We're going to talk about the new class, new zones, PvE, PvP, itemization, Paragon levels, and more. So we're going to cover some of these features in future videos, so stay tuned and let's get into it. So let's start talking about the new class, and it's the Crusader. It's a paladin class with a sword and a shield, and it's really tanky. So one of the things that we're gonna see is we have more options for customization as soon as we create characters for all classes. So when we press next in this screen, instead of seeing like just 2 options, now we're gonna have 3 options for customization for each class, male and female. And the Crusader looks really good. Honestly, it's really accurate with what we have in Diablo 3, and also the class looks really tanky and awesome. So I have my max level Crusader right here, and we're gonna talk about the skills really quick. So when we check the skill, we're gonna see classic skills like Punish, Condemn, Consecration, Falling Sword, and more. Also, we have the Drawn Quarter, which is the horse that we all know from Diablo 3. I was expecting hammers. I was expecting the Hammerding. So my first thought was, I'm gonna play Crusader, I wanna play a Hammerding Paladin style build, and there's no hammers. So I understand that. I understand it's fine that we don't have hammers at this point, because maybe the design wants to move away from the classic Hammerding. But at this point, I feel also that the replacement for the Hammerding is the Spinning Shield. And when you check the Spinning Shield, it's a good skill, but it's not there yet. It's not super fun. I was kind of disappointed with the Spinning Shield. I think it needs more work. But if we get to see a Spinning Shield like really awesome, it's gonna be super cool. So let's keep an eye on the Captain America style Spinning Shield Crusader from Diablo 3. I think if they can bring that to life in Diablo Immortal, it's gonna be super cool. Now let's take a look at the inventory. The inventory, you can equip different items and you get to see different art styles. So these art styles are more like Diablo 4 art style for me. It looks really good. So if you get to equip different items, you get to change the items. You see the green arrows up showing you upgrades, and it's really easy to see. You also get to enjoy all these stats, and also you can see more attributes here. You can compare items specifically and see all these items or things that you're getting, if you're getting upgrades or not, if it's more power or not, etc. So it's really good. So let's talk about the new zones, and the new zones are Mount Sevan and Frozen Tundra. And we also get to see the new dungeon, which is Caverns of Echoes, which is we're gonna cover in a future video, because we have a lot to see about the Caverns of Echoes. So this new zone, Mount Sevan, is level 55 because we're playing the game right now. And I want to show you guys something specific. This is a wall boss, a mini boss in Mount Sevan, right? And one of the things that I see right away, and is making Alpha 2 10 times better than Alpha 1, is that game mechanics are more painful, but in a good way. So when you play an ARPG, the idea is you need to adapt to game mechanics. And when you're facing a boss, and when you're kind of like, you have a challenge against a boss, if you stay on top of the purple stuff on the floor, you take a lot of damage. If you try to face tank a boss, you're gonna take a lot of damage. So you need to learn game mechanics. You need to be smart about your cooldowns, about all your skills. You need to save resources. You need to be smart also about health gloves, and make sure that you know what the enemy is gonna do next. So sometimes you're not gonna be powerful enough to defeat these enemies. You need to come back, get more gear, maybe ask for help. So this is for me more like WoW. So when game mechanics are really important for all boss fights. I really enjoyed this. I think this is the main, or this is the basic stuff from ARPGs. You need to respect game mechanics, and they're really important for the game. For me, this is something that we need to keep an eye on, because I feel like the content from like Alpha 1, even though it was like low level content to level 45, you can still face tank pretty much everything in the game. So if moving forward, this is gonna be the type of content that we're gonna get. All this like end game and Diablo Immortal is gonna be really awesome. Now let's talk a little bit about PvP in Diablo Immortal Alpha 2. So you have 2 factions, Shadows and Immortals. And PvP in Diablo Immortal Alpha 2 is more of like group play PvP all day. So you start as a shadow, you can join different guilds or houses, and as a shadow you spend kind of like a full week kind of getting ranked up inside the shadows, and then towards the end of the week you're gonna have a big fight against the immortals. If the shadows are winners, these top houses are gonna become immortals. So you need to make sure that you improve your character to a point where you can get better at PvP towards the end of the week, so you can have the privilege to be an immortal for a full week. What are the perks to be an immortal? Well, when you're an immortal, you get to enjoy the raid. It's a 48 player raid with exclusive items just for immortals. Also, you get to see a vendor in town that's gonna sell you specific items as special prices for immortals. It's like a VIP thing inside Diablo Immortal. So I feel being an immortal is really good, but the end game content is kind of catered towards the PvP. So I feel like at this point PvP is like 60% of the end game content for Diablo Immortal, and PvE is kind of a 40%. In fact, you can do PvE content to get better and to improve your character and move forward and go back and do PvP all day. So I feel Diablo Immortal is moving towards the PvP group play type of style, and it's maybe the niche that they want to hit at this point, which is really interesting. Let's talk about PvE in Diablo Immortal, and this is one of the features. It's called the Reliquary. It's an item that we're going to equip and we're going to have with us all the time, and it's going to increase our defense and offense ratings by a specific percentage. As soon as we hit level 10, we're going to unlock a new slot, and for this slot we're going to unlock a quest to kill a demon, which is super challenging. The only way that we're going to kill this demon is in a group.
This is the way.
If you guys from Blizzard are watching this video, I want to say something. We need more PvE solo content available in Diablo Immortal. Right now, as soon as you finish Hell 1, you hit Paragon level 25 or so, you start playing Hell 2. The only content you get to see is world content, exploration, and that's pretty much it. If you want to do dungeons, the dungeons are going to escalate to 4 players only. That means you need to spend time in chat getting into a group, or maybe getting 3 players to help you out with the content.
This is the way.
If you want to do the Reliquary, it's the same thing. You need help. You need people to help you kill demons. So there's not a lot of PvE content like solo content. You're going to clear Hell 1 really easy. You want to jump into Hell 2, but as soon as you enter dungeons, they're going to escalate to 4 players only. Sometimes you don't have the opportunity or the time to just call your friends and wait for them to join your team to clear one dungeon. Sometimes you just have a 35-minute window to play the game and you want to do some dungeons or you want to do your bounties. But some of the bounties are dungeons. That means you need 4 players to finish your bounties in Hell 2. If you want to play Reliquary, you need 4 players to kill these demons. So the only way you're gonna progress your Paragon levels, the only way you're gonna get more items, the only way you're gonna get stronger in the game is playing in groups.
This is the way.
But if you don't have a group, you're gonna waste your time. So you're gonna lose players at some point towards the end game, because the end game is all content towards group play. So if you get more solo content on the side, even if it's not as efficient as group play as usual with Diablo games, I'm fine with that, but we need to have options. So solo players, please, we need more PvE solo content. Speaking of itemization, as I said before, we're going to talk about this topic in depth in a future video, but I want to show you guys really quick what this itemization in Alpha 2 is about. So as we see right now here, we have a upgrade, right? This is our shoulders, and we can upgrade our shoulder for a different one. But the main issue is we're going to change our legendary power. Remember, legendary items, they have a specific legendary power attached to the legendary item. So if I want to use Sacred Change and I want to keep using Sacred Change, I might not want to equip these shoulders because I don't want to use Judgment. So the only option we have right now is we can keep this item, right? And then we can talk to this vendor, which is the Essence Transfer vendor. We can extract our shoulders. We can extract this power, legendary power here, and it's gonna work like the canized cube from Diablo 3. This vendor is gonna keep all these legendary powers to here. You need to destroy the items, of course. So the item you have in your inventory is gonna be destroyed. You're gonna save the legendary power, but you're gonna be able to inherit this legendary power and equip it in your shoulders. So you can equip your better shoulders with better stats, as we see right now: 41 strength, 46 willpower. But I want to add a different legendary power. So I want to add this one: 10% increased damage from a few seconds after using Falling Sword. So I want to transform this item. So as soon as you press inherit, you're going to transform this item. You're going to inherit the legendary power, the look as well, the transmog, but the stats are going to be the same. So if I check the stats of my legendary items here, let's go to my inventory here. 41 strength, 46 willpower. So you still be able to get an upgrade and keep your legendary powers, so you can play around with your build and keep your build all the time if you're able to farm enough legendary items to extract the powers and equip the new ones. So this is a great option, because in Alpha 1 was really frustrating when you get a new item and all of a sudden with better stats, it's super awesome, but the legendary power is not there. So you need to farm the same item with better stats in the future, and sometimes it can take like 3 weeks and you might not get the same item again. So because of the RNG with this vendor, everything is super easy right now with trying to keep up with your build. All right, now let's talk about legendary gems, because when I submit my feedback after Alpha 1, one of the things for me was a big red flag about pay to win, was the fact that you can upgrade legendary gems and pay for legendary crests and farm legendary gems and upgrade legendary gems really easy. And that was a power struggle, because then you can have people paying for more legendary gems and upgrading legendary gems like crazy. At this point, they added a new feature to upgrade legendary gems. So after I have, like, this gem is rank 2 right now. So if I want to upgrade this gem to rank 3, I need 2 of the same legendary gems already in my inventory, which is RNG, and it's really hard to craft. And on the side, I also need gem fragments, like 5 gem fragments. So if I don't have all these items, I'm not going to be able to upgrade this gem. This is giving you an extra step towards the end game, and it's kind of like limiting the fact that you can upgrade legendary gems really easy. So I feel like this is a good feature. Even though you're paying for legendary crests and you have money in game, you're not gonna be able to kind of like power creep all the way up your legendary gem to max level in a few days. You still need to farm a lot. You still need to get a lot of fragments. You still need to get the same gem over and over and over as many times as possible. I think rank 3 is gonna ask you to add like a 3rd legendary gem or something. So it's really challenging, and I feel like this is a good step in the right direction. Let me see this one. This one is like you need 2 of them of the same one. So it needs to be one rank 1 and rank 2. In this case, you have 1 rank 1, 1 rank 2, and 2 fragments. So it's super challenging, because moving forward, you need to get more legendary gems. So this is gonna limit the maximum capacity to power creep, and legendary gems are still meaningful and really important to the game. So I feel this is a good feature. We're gonna cover this one in depth soon and in a future video as well, because it's more about legendary gems. We have more legendary gems now. It's really interesting what they're doing with legendary items, and I feel like this is a step in the right direction. So good job, guys, about this. Let's talk about Paragon levels in Diablo Immortal. And this is a comparison between Alpha 1 and Alpha 2. So we have different trees like Vanquisher, Survivor, Treasure Hunter, Gladiator, and Soldier. So Vanquisher, at this point, we have the circles, which is Paragon points, the passive Paragon points that we're going to allocate here. So if you allocate 10 points here, it doesn't matter if the tree is active or not, you're still going to have these 10 points all the time with your character, which is great. And then the square ones like Exorcism is active. So if you don't have Vanquisher active, Exorcism is not going to affect your character. So for me, the big difference is like now they added more point in between these active skills and passive skills. So you have more passive points. You need to be more invested into one skill tree to get more rewards. So that means if after you hit seal, if you want to jump into rat, you need to invest like 25 passive points here. There's no other way. So this is a great feature, and this is a great change, because before it was really easy to access all these like active skill points. And this is my take about Paragon points towards the end game. I feel like the Paragon trees are really interesting because you need to be more invested into passive skills and active skills. I don't feel that Survivor is adding a lot of like options to the game at this point. I feel like right now Vanquisher and Gladiator are the main trees that everybody's gonna play. Also, I feel Paragon point moving forward, when you hit level 100 or more, is getting to a point when the gap is getting bigger and bigger and bigger between players that, you know, they have like 24 hours to play the game against casual players. So for casual players, it's going to be really, really difficult to get enough power to jump into PvP arenas and have some fun, because then they're going to get destroyed by players putting all these points into Gladiator. So we need to come up with a system or one way to unlock all these trees and maybe move some Paragon points to Gladiator so you can change your spec or your tree and be more competitive into PvP, because 60% of the end game is PvP right now in Diablo Immortal. So I hope that we can get to balance it out around Paragon points, or be more flexible about Paragon points, because I feel at this point you get stuck with whatever you decide right now. You have no options. So if you don't play Vanquisher, if you made a mistake to start putting points in Survivor, your character is done. You need to create a new character and start redoing everything, because there's no way you're gonna survive and you're gonna do something different for Gladiator. And well, guys, this is it for today. Thank you for stopping by. I'm gonna stream the game from Wednesdays to Saturdays on Twitch. So if you guys want to ask me some questions, you can join the chat and ask me whatever you want. Also, if you like the video, just give me a thumbs up, because that's gonna help the algorithm for YouTube to recommend my video to more people. And just stay tuned to the channels. We're gonna have more content from Diablo Immortal. So I see you guys in Sanctuary.